Yo, 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 hail to the victor. Fans out there, welcome back to our session. What is this, week four now?
Already week 4.
Already week four recap of this. I'm your boy Jay Bizzle.
And this is beast mode with you here, a little bit less enthusiastic. I just ended my shift, so
Yo,
a
you're
little bit
saving
tired,
lives,
but
bro. You're saving
no,
lives right
I'm
now.
not saving lives. I'm just giving out pain medications and letting people go.
But you're doing work. We all doing work right now. So we're gonna break down obviously the week four recap of the matchups, and then we'll give our top 10 breakdown of who we got going on. So let me go ahead and start sharing the series, and we're gonna go through some of the matchups here. Week four. I can't believe it's week four already, but or no, this is
It's
the second.
it's week 4. We're going to discuss week 3.
Yeah, we're discussing actual week three things going on. So let's start off with the score here, if it'll come up.
Gotta stop downloading porn, man. Slowing down your bandwidth.
Hey, this is a school computer. So we're just gonna go straight into the BK Nino matchup. Beast Mode versus Nino. 124, 109. Beast, take us through. What are you seeing, even with your own team right now?
Yeah, so if I talk about my own team, I think it was a pretty close match. Losing CMC for who knows how long. Hopefully not too long. I'm really crossing my fingers. I think, he probably would have scored around 20 points. And so if you think he had 15 more points, that would have been a pretty close match between him and I. Other than that, I think my team performed as to be expected. I think Kevin Ridley still has yet to show up. And Hop, he played a little bit injured, and it definitely showed against the Jacksonville team. You'd think he'd get more than 3.6 points. I think what saved me was the Cardinals D scoring 17 points and freaking Brandon, my kicker, scoring 16 points, which is, it looks like, other than the Cardinals D is my second, Cardinals D and my kicker is my number 2 and 3 scoring players. So it looks like I have a lot of work to do. My bench is decimated. Deontay Johnson was injured. Daryl Henderson was injured. Neither of them played. Elijah Mitchell didn't play. And I know JB wants to mention, Elijah Mitchell and the amount of money I spent for him and the
Oh,
subsequent trade that I offered him, which I think he probably should have taken
no.
in hindsight.
I was very tempted because I was, really after my Mostart injury gone, I needed the running back backup, and you were just stringing it out there. As soon as you got that pickup, and then you strung it out there, you're like, "Yo, Elijah Mitchell, I want some Higby action." And I was like right about to press the button, but then I thought I was like, "Nah, can't do it." Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
You're
But
not even playing Tyler Higby, man.
I know
What
I'm
a
not even
waste.
playing. I should have played him, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
your team injuries are right now, but I can actually see OBJ starting to pick it back up. I mean, that's a solid 11 points after kind of like not doing anything. So we'll see what happens with your team on that side. Nino came back to life. I don't know what happened to this.
Yeah.
He went from like scoring like dismal like 70 points, I think prior weeks, till now. I mean, obviously Tom Brady's still overperforming. His running backs finally showed up. Austin Eckler, Saquon, both overperforming in those situations. And then just overall, everyone just kind of contributing to it. Marquise Brown could have had 3 touchdowns, and he dropped all 3 of them. So that could have been a big bonus up there. So man, this team is actually maybe not in the bottom in 10th place anymore, and that Browns defense is just going off. I don't know what's going on with them over there.
So rookie QB, that's what happened. I know because I had the Browns D and they really didn't do much the last couple of weeks, but I think they definitely have a solid group. So I think that was a good pickup for him, especially picking him up and playing them with Justin Fields as a quarterback. I think he played absolutely horribly. So I think that was a solid pick by Naned. Um, otherwise, yeah, I mean, I think both of these teams are on the lower half of the group at this point in time. So I think that's definitely something both of us need to work on going forward.
Yeah, but still, potential's out there. Potential is out there.
Yeah,
Let's
only
go.
week 3. So
Yeah, let's go to a drubbing. One of the drubbings that happened this week. Lights Kamara Action versus Baywatch, who's changed his name like multiple times, almost every week. I think he watches our show and then like changes it right afterwards.
it's very possible. I don't know how many more Bay names he can change to, but we'll see. I do like Baywatch though.
Yeah, I mean that's a great show. But let's talk about this Baywatch team. There's just connections going on like crazy right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Rogers to Devonte Adams combo has been going off, and you would think, you'd expect that from a Lions defense, but you would think playing against San Francisco they'd have a harder time. But yeah, Adams has just been going off 25 points. Rogers is pretty much at his projection, but I actually thought he played a lot better. Even though it didn't show that, I think going forward, I think he's going to definitely be a top 5, top 10 quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
Also Godwin, he had a big game. Broncos defense had a big game. And then I don't think we need to talk about frickin' Justin Tucker's, whatever it is, 66-yard field goal, which shouldn't even happen because there was a delay of game and just poor coaching all around on the Detroit team, which you would kind of, I guess, shouldn't be a surprise anymore now. But yeah, 16, yeah.
Yeah, I had friends who were at that game who were both Lions and then also Ravens fans. And on social media, it was just two drastic like expressions. But give me a break with Justin. Give him like 7 points for that kick. Jeez, Louis.
Yeah, that deserves probably more than that. But
that was ridiculous.
Looks like he didn't even need it though, because what can we talk about Dave's team right now? He needs, I think, a lot of work. 77 points this week, and I think last week he only showed up with 69 points.
Yeah.
So he actually did better. So this is a week 3 improvement at least at 70 whatever points he has right now. He didn't get doubled this week like he did last week.
I think we've said this before. His team has superstars, and it has like drastic like what is going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, AJ Brown getting hurt doesn't help at all. And Amari, I think, was a little bit injured. I think Darren Waller was a little bit injured. So, there's obviously parts of this team that really you would think Dak to Amari would be like that kind of combo connection that could work.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't look good when Dallas scores 41 points and Amari Cooper has 4.1 points out of those 41 points that they scored. So definitely, I don't know if that's something to look forward, to in the future to see if Dak has some new targets. I think it was the tight end Schultz. I think he was targeting him a lot. So definitely something to look forward to see how bad that Amari Cooper Dak combo is. Nothing like Baywatch combo on the other side here. And then just poor showing from all of his teams. So I think there definitely is some, like you're saying, definitely some upside, but it's kind of scary right now scoring 69 and 77 points. Definitely some work to do.
This might be a lowering of his ranking, right? And
then yeah, we'll see if there's anyone lower than Dave this week. You'll have to watch to find out.
The classic Cho versus Cho. I mean, we ranked these two guys as kind of like the top of the league last week. So this matchup was kind of a precursor, possibly, to the playoffs, and we got a tight one going with it. I think it did come down to like that Monday night game to see whether or not CeeDee Lamb could catch up and get Jay Cho some points there. But what do you think about these two teams here?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to talk about, I don't even want to talk about Ticho's team because it's just too ridiculous. It's disgusting. I hate you, Ticho. I love you, but I hate you. So I'll talk about Jay Cho's team. He only scored 102 points this week. I think his team definitely has the capability to score more than that. Kyler against Jacksonville, you'd think he'd kind of go off just running around everywhere and scoring. But he only had 18.5 points, which, for him is actually not that good of a game, especially against Jacksonville. The good news for him, though, Gibson definitely finally showed up and had 16.9 points. Aaron Jones also had a great game, 16.6 points. His bench player, Kareem Hunt, actually was his number one running back. So definitely missed out playing him, but I don't know if I would play him over Aaron Jones or Gibson. And maybe over Montgomery. He definitely didn't show up. But even if he did play him, I don't think that would have really changed the score or outcome. I think the bigger thing is, his lack of receivers at this point in time. CeeDee Lamb, like we were talked about with Amari, 41 points that Dallas scored, and you would expect more than just 8 points from him. And I think Jay Cho picked up Debo off of waivers, I think this past week, and finally played him because he had a big week too, I think.
Yeah.
But only 7.7 points from him. So we'll see how that works out going forward. So, I think definitely Jay Cho's team is better than 102 points this week. But again, he went against Ticho, which everyone hates. He's number one. So I'll let you talk about Ticho.
I will say I was watching Red Zone with Jay Cho's on Sunday, and we saw that Gibson had like a 50-yard reception for a touchdown, so he was really happy about that. But he was not happy with that David Montgomery, and he kept throwing out Matt Stafford to me. So I don't know. We'll see. We might see some trade action going on.
Oh,
maybe sometime soon. I'm in need of a quarterback. He has one. He's in need of a wide receiver. I have a bunch of good ones. So, I don't know. We'll see. On the other side, Lamar, you would think that against the Detroit defense, he would have done a lot more than that. But he did basically take the whole team on his shoulders and get them back to a position where they could actually win it. But, man, those running backs of T-Cho are just way underperforming. I think that's his Achilles heel right now if he could have anything. But the rest of his team just keeps scoring points to kind of make up for it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp again, 26.1 points. That's just ridiculous. That's so gross. I agree. I think definitely Ticho needs a lot of work with his running backs. I think I was some podcast or something. They were talking about Miles Sanders. He only had 2 carries. That is a big deal, I think, going forward. If Miles Sanders is only getting 2 carries, I think obviously, the gameplay, at the time they were trying to catch up, but still, you would expect more from that from your number 2. I think he drafted them right next to each other too. So he could even be technically your RB1, RB2. So I think that definitely has something to something he's got to look at forward and see if he can pick up a running back from someone, maybe Jay Cho. I don't know. That would be a really ridiculous trade if I know they both get stronger. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Jay Cho, I also have receivers if you want them. So let's make something happen, bro.
Let's make something else happen there. We'll see what happens. Oh, the matchup that just wouldn't stop scoring points. Brandon Choi, One Suck, You're My Homies. He keeps changing his freaking name every week. But I couldn't stand it that after his previous week where he doesn't score very well, then all of a sudden becomes the number 1 point scorer against me. I have the most points against me out of any team right now, and I'm getting sick of it right now.
If you can't hear, JB, I'm playing the world's smallest violin right now. I don't know if you can see me or you can hear it. That being said, yes, Mahomes' team is also disgusting. I hate you. One Suck and Ticho. Both of you guys suck. Your teams are just too good. One Suck. I think I mentioned this in the draft wrap up. He doesn't make very many moves, but when he does, they are great. As for this week, he jumped on Madison once he heard that Delvon was out, and he played him, and he got 20 points from Madison. So that was huge. And then Zeke finally showed up as his RB1 and put up 25 points. Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. And then Jamar Chase also has been lights out. I think he's the number 5 receiver so far this year. He's had a touchdown in every game. I think this last game he had 2 touchdowns, putting up 20 points. So definitely huge, output from his team, specifically against JB. I'm very happy.
I am not.
But
yeah,
I think definitely one suck is.
I mean, that stupid Saints defense scored a defensive touchdown on a stupid pass that bounced off the wide receiver and they ran it back in. I was like, are you kidding me right now? But it still wouldn't have mattered because he beat me by 36 points and one suck. No more golf for you anymore.
I think JB's a little bit upset.
A little bit.
You can't tell.
But, oh, man, my Hawk is killing me. I thought they would just resort to throwing the Hawk because of Baltimore defense, but I should have started Higbee.
So, I mean, yes, you should have. I mean, no, you shouldn't have. I would still have played Hawkinson over Higbee based on, what's been going on so far. Hawk is definitely the number 1 option on offense, I think, for Detroit. I think your team, though, is, Mike Williams, man, that pickup has been huge. Mike Williams, if he's wide receiver 2, it's wide receiver 1A and 1B because, he put up 30 points. He's a monster. Big target. Justin Jefferson finally showed up.
Yes.
Najee Harris finally showed up, and Derrick Henry is being Derrick Henry, running over people. Again, I would say the only biggest weakness is Joe Burrow, 17.58 points.
A little overperforming.
Yeah, a little bit. I think, but I think that would be the one weakness that you have on your team. If you can make a trade and pick up a quarterback, that would be definitely huge. I think you would have to give up pretty decent running or a receiver, but you have 3. I mean, Justin Jefferson, Mike Williams, and Tyler Lockett are all studs. So I think if you make that trade, that'll definitely prop up your team for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, what more can you ask from a team to score 123 points and still lose? That's pretty.
Yeah. Again, my violin.
That sucks.
Tiny, absolutely tiny.
Last matchup, another drubbing that's happened. BK versus Norong. This is like the no tie breakdown right now. Between the
I think we need to address what's going on with Norong's names. I think he started the year with, what was it? Next year is my year, which was very confusing. It's almost as though he was giving up this year already. So that was upsetting. I would hope that he'd have more, positivity going into the year, but he finally changed his name to Baker Mrs. Field, which is also, again, kind of confusing. And I think he was going for Baker Mayfield, but he ended up dropping Baker Mayfield 3 days after. We had to go into the transaction history. He ended up dropping Baker Mayfield 3 days after changing his name. And you would think it'd be like some amazing pickup, right? Like, oh, he's going to pick up someone huge. No, he picked up Daniel Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Jones for Baker Mayfield.
I think that was when Daniel Jones had a running touchdown or something like that. So he was creating another breakout game. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on with the names right now. I mean, granted, hey, Norong's expecting number 2 to come soon. So, he's busy.
He's focused on different things. I understand. His head's not in the game. But that being said, I think Norong's team, despite only scoring 73 points, I think actually it is better on paper than what it seems.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is injured. He's been injured. He had a good game before he went down. So if you put him in and he has a solid game, as well as James Robinson having a monster game, if he can sustain that, then his team actually with those two running backs, you got Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, who both underperformed this week. I think he definitely has, and a solid Bills defense. I think he definitely has a solid team, and Dallas Goedert, as his tight end. I think he definitely has a solid team. I don't think dropping Baker Mayfield was necessary for Daniel Jones. So maybe we'll see. Maybe he might pick up Baker Mayfield again and drop Daniel Jones, or who knows. But
keep the name.
yeah, keep the name. Just get the player again, Narang. I
Yes.
think I'd be okay with that. But yeah, unfortunately, not a good week this week for Narang. But I think he definitely has some upside going forward.
Yeah, when he drafted this team, I was like, dang, like Norong
Yeah,
picked a really good team. So
yeah.
I think,
Tyreek and Stephon Diggs. I mean, that's huge. And Russell Wilson.
yeah,
So he's got some star power.
yeah. On the opposite side, BK always showing up, overperforming again. He's projected at 109, comes out at 122, and he has some studs. Josh Allen is just ridiculous. I was so mad. I'm gonna say it again. So mad that he picked Josh Allen ahead of me. Um, but that's just continues to prove that he knows how to draft very well. And then there's parts of the team that need a little bit like the Kyle Pitts. I mean, you're in Atlanta. Is Kyle Pitts like? I mean, what's going on with that kid? He's supposed to be a superstar, and he only scores like 4.5 points.
Well, I think that's the problem. Is he is still a kid. Tight ends notorious. Their first year is just not worth playing them. So I think he definitely tried to reach for that one, and so far hasn't really made up for it with his draft capital. Drafting him as high as he did, but you never know. I mean, Atlanta, they suck. They're like the Detroit of the South, so
Mhm.
they're always going to come from behind. So you never know if they can get those connections down. He could be a huge player for them. So I mean, it's definitely worth the risk, especially with how shallow the tight end position is. There's really nothing, and he still has Gesicki on his bench, who scored 13.6 points. So Brian, you're a Gesicki for not playing Gesicki. Put that boy in your lineup and change your name. Sweet
Keseki.
boy Gesicki. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think Brian's got a solid team. Rondell Moore only put up 1.4 points, but I mean, as a rookie, he's been playing lights out too. So he had a bad week, and against Jacksonville, you'd expect to see something better, but I think he still has the physical attributes to be a great receiver. So I think that was also a big pickup, and he scored whatever it is, 122 with freaking Dalvin Cook on his bench.
Yep.
So I mean, he definitely has a solid team going forward. Stop being a Kiseki, Brian.
Yeah. And obviously he put some Detroit love starting DeAndre Swift, who, wasn't really doing very much, but then he got a lot of kind of like that garbage time points, which is, that's a kind of risky move, but also a very smart move from a manager who's like, yeah, they're probably just gonna dump it to him, and then I keep doing that. So 122, that's obviously a great score, but he could have scored even more if he's made some switches there.
Mm-hmm.
So that wraps up all the week matchups. We're gonna go switch to the actual rankings right now. So we're gonna take a look at the actual scores or the records of it. In 10th place, Baker misses Fields. I think we both agree. Like Norong at number 10.
Yeah, I mean Norham's at number 10. I think he's got a better team than what his record is at 0-3, but I think at 0 as the only 0-3 team, definitely has a lot of work going ahead of him. But if he can get some of those injuries back and get lucky on some of his playing the right players, I think he definitely has a shot to not be the what is it, the draft bitch, or whatever it is. I don't know what the title is. Draft food bitch.
The catering back to
The caterer, whatever, draft caterer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like draft bitch better.
No. Okay. Ninth place, Lights Kamara action. I mean, just points wise, obviously, he has to be here in the schedule. And also just kind of not performing as he should. Tig Covides. You think down upon your team, but I think you're actually, I think these down positions right here, 9, 8, 7. It's kind of like we're all tied at 1 and 2, right? So it's kind of who knows what can
Yeah,
happen.
I mean, the season's still early, but I think definitely I would put myself at number 8. I think that my team definitely has a lot of work. I think I need to get lucky on some waiver pickups or something. Something. I need CMC definitely back to even have a shot at anything. I think, and I lost to Nino this week, so I think he definitely deserves to be one higher than me because of that. So yeah, I would probably put myself where I'm at, and I would probably put Nino where he's at. And to be honest, I think 1 through 6 is like a whole different level, and 7, 8, 9, and 10 are kind of at a different level. I think we definitely have a lot of work to do, and I think going forward, 1 through 6, I think is all really really close.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I think those middle positions, but we have definitely our two top teams right now, maybe in top three. Ticho, Bay Watch, who's probably going to rename his team something Bay next week. Um, and then Mahomes, Sweet Boy Jamal. I mean, those are all still top four teams right now. You're looking possibly at maybe the playoffs. Do you think you could see these four in the playoffs?
I think definitely the top 3. I would say Chocho, Tion and One Suck. Definitely, I think they're like almost barring a severe injury. Yes, I'm trying to jinx you guys. Barring a severe injury, I think they're almost a lock to make the playoffs, unless 7 through 10 makes some big changes or something. I think they're almost a lock. I think BK is almost a lock too, but I beat BK. I'd like to point that out. And so the fact that I beat BK means that he definitely is beatable. And then also, I think JB and J I think you guys, I mean, really, I think 1 and 6, I think 1 and 3 are all almost a lock. I think 3 through 6 are almost,
Could be
they're
any.
all a lock to at least compete for the playoffs. And I think unless something changes, I think 7, 8, 9, and 10 are
Yeah.
battling for catering.
I'm actually looking at the left hand side for this week's matchups. I'm
Mhm.
playing Baker Mrs. Fields. Thank goodness. Nino
Oh man, and
versus.
thank goodness I'm playing Lights Out Kamara.
Oh, well, we gotta hope for the same types of
Oh man,
results
if I lose
that's
this
going
week,
on.
then pretty much I'm putting myself at number 10.
Oh man, but then you have some big matchups.
Yeah.
Mahomes versus Ticho. That's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Baywatch versus J Chos. That's gonna be another battle here. So
Hmm.
wow, this is gonna be high
It's
anticipation for
gonna
this.
be an interesting week, yeah, for sure. And then we got to see what the transactions are gonna be this coming week and see what moves people are gonna be making.
Oh, there's a lot of juicy guys out there to pick up. So waiver wires. Hopefully you put them out, or
Yeah,
don't.
I'm betting
Because
I'm betting $102 on Hubbard, guys. Just letting you know. Or watch
stay,
yourselves.
stay away from.
Yeah, stay away from Hubbard.
That's on there. Well, this is a wrap up of the week 3 matchups. This is our 4th edition. If you have any suggestions, or hey, we need some people to join us maybe, uh, and,
Yeah.
and talk about these matchups, and we'll see if we can get someone to join us next week on there.
Or
So
if you guys want, JB put out I ate dinner right before this. I could start off the beginning of each week with myself eating for 10 minutes, just silently mukbanging it.
oh,
Yeah,
with the
just whatever it
microphone
is.
right up next
I'm
to it.
sure. Yeah, you guys would love that, I'm sure. So just let me know if you guys want that, you sick bastards, if you do.
Whatever to get the views, man. Whatever to get the
Yeah.
views. But yeah, beast mode. Stay safe down there, buddy.
You too, guys. Stay safe.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Have a good week.